So in the past, I made a video talking about how 6-on-6 Pokemon fight between Ash and Yugi. I did some, figuring out, basically talking about what Pokemon Ash would have that would be correspondent to his Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and who would actually win the battle. And I discussed basically Yugi most likely come out a little more on top just because he's very skilled, very smart, very quick adaptive, and his relationship with the heart and the cards would transfer very well to the same relationship that Ash has with his Pokemon. I think it would be a pretty fair battle. And then I ran it through an AI simulation for like 1,000 times at that, and Ash did win more, but Yugi did win some of the battles as well. So I decided to kind of flip it around and see who'd win in a Duel Monsters battle between Ash and Yugi. So without further ado, hit that button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into today's video. So growing up, I loved watching Yugioh and Pokemon, and I just came across the other day a reel of Yugi's tips on Duel Monsters that I don't remember seeing on WB, but I guess it was there. And it basically showed Yugi saying to Ash, "I played my Dark Magician, what would you do?" And Ash is like, Charizard. And Charizard then breathes fire into Yugi's face. It's a funny clip, but that got me thinking, I could definitely see the battle going that way. Yugi sitting at the table going, okay, for my first move, I play Celtic Guardian in attack mode and put one card face down. And Ash just goes, Pikachu, use Thunderbolt. And the Thunderbolt burns the Celtic Guardian card to a crisp, and Yugi's like, dude, what the hell, you just burned my card. It'd be funny. Or Pikachu shocks Yugi himself, and Yugi's just like, dude, that's not how you play. So, for the instance of this video, without funny things aside that probably actually would happen, and technically did happen in this clip here.
More of Yugi's Duel and Tips and Tricks training camp. Card choices.
All right, Ash, I've played a Magical Hats card. Now what card might you play?
Should I play Karibo?
No. What card would you play? You have to think quickly in these situations, Ash.
Charizard! I choose you! That's what I would play.
Oh, I see.
But let's say one of two things. Now, I had bought this card off Etsy, so without trying to figure out what Pokemon kind of relate more to Duel Monster cards, because obviously Charizard would more represent Blue Eyes, and since there's only 4 Blue Eyes in the world, and Kaiba has 3, and Yugi's grandfather has the 4th one, it'd be kind of difficult for Ash to get a Blue Eyes unless Yugi takes his grandfather's and lends it to him or something like that for a battle. Let's say one or two things. Let's say Ash goes on Etsy and purchases fake Duel Monster cards of Charizard, on a Yu-Gi-Oh card. And he does the same thing with Pikachu and a bunch of other Pokemon. So maybe borrows some magic cards from Yugi. Now, Yugi's going to be a good friend. Just like he taught Joey, he's going to, show him the rules and, explain the rules about each of the battle, phases before actually doing them. And then he's going to also explain how to construct the deck. You need to have monster cards, magic cards, trap cards. He's going to explain all this beforehand. Whereas Ash versus Yugi in a Pokemon battle, it's very cut and dry. You have 6 Pokemon, your 6 Pokemon battle, there's different types, it's very easy. Ash probably wouldn't have explained this to Yugi, but he probably would have figured out right away. You know, seeing an electric mouse in front of him for battle, he knows, okay, you electric Pokemon, I need to counteract that electricity if I can, so on and so forth. So Yugi's very quick adapting. Ash is going to be very much like Joey in Duel Monsters and not really understand the game fully, and he's going to struggle with it a lot. He's going to make mistakes. And I can see, them doing, playful battles. And Yugi definitely wins, because Yugi never loses. He's only lost. Technically, he didn't lose against Pegasus the first time because the timer ran out and nobody technically won. Technically, he lost to Kaiba at the castle because Kaiba basically threatened his own life if Yugi tried to win. That was enough to save, Mokuba, so that technically doesn't count. Then he technically lost to Joey, but then Joey turned it around and created his life points to go to 0 as well for that battle when Merrick was possessing him to create a draw. So Yugi's never lost fairly. Yugi's gonna kick Ash's butt in Duel Monsters, no doubt about it. Even if he has fake Pokemon in Yugioh form, or if he actually converts his Yugioh deck, Duel Monsters deck, because it's called Duel Monsters, not Yugioh. Yugioh's the name of the show. Duel Monsters is the name of the card game, if we're in universe. If Ash converts his Duel Monsters into Pokemon form, he probably would have, I doubt he would have a Blue Eyes White Dragon because that card is so rare, but maybe he has like a Cursed Dragon. Maybe there's another card that's like an Electric Mouse that he could use, something like that. Yugi would definitely help him out with that to try to figure out, what monsters that would fit Ash most likely. I can't see Ash beating Yugi whatsoever. If I ran this through a simulation, I actually did that. I actually ran that thing through a simulation about who would win a Duel Monsters match between Ash and Yugi, and it basically gave me the same results in reverse from the previous video. Basically, it said like Yugi wins 750, Ash wins 250, and I'm like, no, I doubt it. If they actually sat there and had 1,000 matches, I doubt Ash would win 250 of them. Maybe if he had some practice with Joey, he could get better, but Yugi just can't lose. Yugi just can't lose. He's never lost a game. Even in the original manga that happened before Duelist Kingdom, he played all these different games. He never lost. So technically he shouldn't even lose in Pokemon, but I had to give Ash the advantage because he's been doing it for a long time, and Ash is well trained in Pokemon, so I had to give him a little bit of advantage there in that battle. So yeah, take a quick break. Raze has your drink. Go to repsports.com. That's REPP sports.com. Use code Jonny Huey. Save yourself 15% off and get awesome flavors like Voodoo. As well as a ton of other great supplement products. Go to repsports.com, REPP sports.com right now and save yourself 15% off with coupon code Jonny Huey. Okay. So, let's say Ash is able to at least, create a deck using Etsy with things like this. I have seen on Etsy a Charizard card in Duel Monsters format using a Pokemon, and Ash is pretty good with this. Trying to figure out a tactic, like Pikachu stabbing his tail into the ground to ground himself so the attack doesn't affect him, or different things like that. Using his toes to dig his hooves into the sand. He's very tactical when it comes to it. But he needs to have the same tactic ability in Duel Monsters, using different magic cards to boost up the playing field, different trap cards to help you throughout. And I don't think he'd be that tactical doing that. He wouldn't be able to really. He might be able to do it eventually, but right off the bat, he's not going to be able to figure out, okay, if I play this magic card, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Whereas, like, if you ever watched Yugi, he's like, okay, I'm going to play Monster Born to reborn this monster, and then I'm going to sacrifice this to play this card, and it's just a big, huge tactical thing that requires a lot of planning. Just like in the Yugi Kyra fight where they versed, a double fight with there's two rare hunters, I forget the names. But basically, Kyra says to Yugi, I have a very awesome card in my hand. He had a blue eyes in his hand, but he couldn't play it because with the other opponent's monster on the field, his effect was that he couldn't sacrifice monsters in order to play bigger monsters. So Kyra said to Yugi, it would be better in my graveyard. So Yugi played a card that allowed them to discard their hand, and then Kyra drew a Monster Reborn card and was able to reborn Blue Eyes. So different little tactical things like that. I think a fair battle would be Ash versus Joey. Because Joey's very smart and tactical. He can think on his feet in tough situations, but he's still not as skilled as Yugi is. And I think Ash would have a better chance of possibly defeating Joey, maybe in 1 or 2 matches. Maybe not all the time, but yeah. Anyway, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and while you're down there, comment down below your thoughts on what kind of cards Yugi could have. Do you think an Etsy deck of his Pokemon would be kind of cool? Or do you want him to convert, his Pokemon into Yu-Gi-Oh cards? And what would his deck look like? Let me know down below. What kind of monsters would Yugi have? Not Yugi. What kind of monsters would Ash have? As well. Also, let me know who you think would win in a duel between Ash and Yugi using Duel Monsters, or who would win in a match between Ash and Joey Wheeler in a Duel Monsters game. Let me know your thoughts down below, and also while you're down there, hit that join button and get awesome content just for you and a bunch of other perks. Or you can check out my Patreon page if you want to help me out with the fluctuation of ad revenues on YouTube. And check out the merch store. I got a ton of cool designs down there and more to come. Yeah. See you guys next time. Before you go, and before you go on Etsy and buy this card because it is so cool. If I remember, I'll leave a link for that down below. Anyway, check out that video. And I'm out.